It is the Sports Fix here on Flow FM, and let's head over to the West Coast now, where our man Chris Prime is on location. And gee whiz, maybe it is contagious. It's all over the place at the moment, the dreaded spicy cough. Primey, how are you, mate?
Yeah, no, I'm good, Reed. I did get struck down with a positive test last Friday, which was around your birthday. Maybe I got it off you. It was a present. I'll get a week in isolation. Might get some housework done.
Well, to be fair, actually, I think this one did knock you around a little bit. It's so random, this COVID thing, and you just don't know how people are going to recover from it from one person to the next. And you had a little bit worse than a mild dose, I think it's fair to say, mate.
I did. I slept for 21 hours on Friday, which is, some people might say that's how I normally work, but that was a little bit more than normal. My biggest concern was, I had a rat test on Thursday, went to footy training, worked behind the bar, so I coached the under 16, so you had the kids around you, and I served 50 or 60 people over the bar, and then Friday morning waking up with a positive test. It's not so much how I cope with it, it's like how many people have caught it because I wasn't aware I had it and, what their reaction is. So you have that worry too. So I spent my Friday morning getting on the old computer and sending messages around to everyone, let them know so they can keep their eyes open. But, yeah, that was my biggest concern. Not so much my welfare. It was just if I'd passed on to someone else, I was going to feel like crap for that.
Yeah, and that's exactly right, mate. And it's one of the biggest concerns inside footy clubs at the moment. It's out and about now. The Rona is out there. If you don't know you've got it, you can't stop yourself from spreading it. So you've got nothing to feel bad about, but it's easy to say. It's not quite that easy in practice. So, but it's good to see that you're on the mend at least, and you'll come out. I love the way you've timed this too, Primey. Only Chris Prime could do this. Manages to get a positive case on the Friday that he's got the bye, and will come out of technical isolation, in inverted commas, Friday at midnight. So you'll miss training, but you won't miss a game. Interesting, that.
Look, I got the gist of what you were saying. I'm not that clever.
Well, the Rona strikes when it strikes at the end of the day. So we'll see how you're feeling as to whether or not you pull the boots on next week. But somebody did have the bye, as I alluded to earlier. Let's have a look now at the games that were played. There was only two of them. And we're going to start first with Air United taking on Cummins Ramblers, not Cummins Kapini Cougars. They played in the other game. Ramblers were too good in the end, 17-13, 115 to Air United 6-2-38. They got a lot of work to do, the Saints.
Look, they do, and I mean, it's week in, week out. And they just got to find a way to try and stay in games, be competitive. You'd sit down at the start of the year, and as a team, you'd think, well, we've improved on what we had last year, and so why aren't we quite seeing it on the board? The other sides have improved as well, and maybe they need a little bit more time just to get the gel right between the players. But yeah, it's going to be a hard road, I think, for the next 12 months for the Saints. They'll have some good moments, and then they'll have some pretty tough ones as well, I think. So they'll be trying their hardest to, as I said, stay in games for that quarter, half, three quarters, and see what that brings them.
The Bilney boys combined for 7 goals. Wes booted 4 of them. Kingsley Bilney Jr. booting 3, and he was named best for the Maggies in his second game for them. Jesse Rules always in the best. Lockie Treloar has had a good start to the season as well. And Will Harsma, we know his class. He's always there and thereabouts. But looking at the best players for the Saints concerns me even more. Raheem Betts, Marcus Liddell, he kicked 3 for them. Lockie Gale, Chris Dunn, they just drop off a bit too quick. I worry for the Saints. They keep battling, they keep putting teams out there, and you can't ask for much more than that. But at some point, you probably want more than that as a club, don't you?
Oh, look, you do. You want wins on the board because you need that competitiveness to to recruit players, and like they work their butts off to get players in, and it's a credit to them. They just can't quite keep the depth of players around long enough to get back to that competitive side.
Mm. Let's move to the next game. That was Cummins Kapini Cougars and Elliston Districts. And I must say, this was at Cummins Oval, and the scoreline here shocked me. 17-6-108 Elliston Districts. Cummins Kapini Cougars 1-7 for the whole game, 13. Almost a 100-point win for Elliston Districts. So they obviously played exceptionally well. And without making excuses for anyone, I noticed there were a few important outs for Cummins Kapini Cougars. And from what I've heard, Rona did strike down the club a little bit. But you can only beat what's there for you to beat, and Elliston Districts did it and did it very well.
Look, they didn't, as any coach will say, we can only play those 20 blokes that they had, or, and that's what you do. Cougars won't be making excuses. They had players out; they'll be disappointed with the result. Yeah, you have players not there, but you have other guys that can step up. They'll be disappointed. Yes, there'll be some positives come out of it, and you think, well, we've got a few guys to come back in, but it's a big margin to put on the board early in the year. Like, it puts a bit of a dent in your percentage, and these sort of games are going to come back. There's always one throughout the year that comes back and bites you come towards finals time, whether it's to try and get into the top two or even into the four. Like, there's a game where you think, well, if we kicked a bit better or played a bit better, we could have just got over the line or a bit closer. We didn't have to make up 5% in the last 2 or 3 games. So I think it's a big loss, not just on the scoreboard, but I think for the effect of Cougars for the rest of the year. They're sort of playing a little bit of catch-up now, percentage and points-wise. So, yeah, that'll be a bit of a challenge.
And conversely, for Elliston Districts, the boost to their percentage is going to put them in a good spot too. So, looking at the best players for the Roosters, Cody Rosalia, first of all, kicking 6 goals. He is a gun and going well up forward for them. Tom Gibson booted 5, Williams booted 3. Best for them. The former West Coast Hawk connection, McAvoy and Montgomery. That's Jake McAvoy and Zane Montgomery. They were named in the best. Brody Kenny as well, along with Rosalia, as you would expect, with his 6 goals. So for the Cummins Kapini Cougars side, Lockie Pake was good. Henry Turnbull and Kobe Velasco. Good to see him up there having a run. Very good footballer. And Brody Lauby as well. But Brody was their only goal kicker on the day. But yep, the recruits are coming home to roost there at Elliston Districts. That's for sure.
Oh, look, they are. And I think they'll just keep getting better and better as they play a bit more footy together. So that's scary for the rest of the comp.
I would agree with that. So let's have a look at this week's round of matches, and that's where we'll start, actually. I think this one will be a beauty. We've been waiting to see these two sides go at it. They know each other pretty well. They're in the same district council area. Lock doing the hosting. Elliston Districts will make their way across. And this should be an interesting game. It is breakthrough round, this one as well. That's promoting good mental health for all involved in football, and I think that's an important message to be carrying at the moment with the way things have been going over the last couple of years. But Lock and Elliston Districts, Primey, how do you see that one?
Oh, look, this is where Elliston, I think, chalked up their first win in the comp last year when they come across the Lock. I think Lock will stay in it for about a quarter, and I think Elliston and them just pull away. Their recruits are just starting to meld, and I think when they start clicking, they're going to be a very tough side to beat. So I think Elliston Districts will probably get over the line by 7 or 8 goals in the end. I know there'll be a few Lock boys there pretty keen to prove me wrong, but I guess that's why I put my neck on the line and sit on a fence normally.
Well, that's what they've been doing, the Lock crew. They prove everyone wrong. They bat above their weight division often. But in this case, I'll be interested to see how Elliston Districts handle the big ground. Obviously playing at home at Elliston quite often. And I mean, at the moment, they're playing well anywhere. They played well at Cummins Oval last week, and that's not a small ground by any stretch. So I don't think the big ground at Lock will worry them too much.
No, I don't. Like, Cummins is probably a bigger oval than Lock. Lock appears, I think Lock's wider, but not quite as long, where Cummins is, that little bit longer. It's an extra half a kick from the middle. So I I think their spread and carry will probably get over the line against Lock.
Yep, all right. Other games, let's have a look at to your boys. You'll take on Ayr United at Ungara Oval. Now, is this deja vu? We've been here recently.
Yeah, no, this is one of the bizarre matches from the split round into our normal round where Tumby's last game obviously was against Ayr United, and we've run up against them again after our week off. So
yeah, so you played them in round 2 and you're up against them again in round 4. It's one of the quirks of the 7-team draw, I guess.
I guess it is. It's hard to make everything work well and, give everyone the right number of home games and get that right. It happened last year, I think. Ayr United played Cougars twice in the first 3 or 4 weeks, which really put a bit of a break in their season last year. It knocked the wind out of their sails sort of right from the word go. And it might have the same effect this year. Like they'll be pretty keyed up to have a red hot crack at Tumby. But it's pretty hard to heal any scars from 2 weeks ago. It's not enough time to work out what you need to do and then practice it and get it right. You just basically carrying on from the fourth quarter into the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So. I would see Tumby getting over the line quite comfortably again, and they'll be disappointed if they don't, I would think.
Yep, I agree with that. And the last match of the round is at the Cooplex, and we'll find out just how good Cummins Ramblers are. They've had a pretty good start to the year, the Maggies, but they get the ultimate litmus test on Saturday.
Yeah, look, Ramblers a bit of a younger side, and I guess Yolanda are going to be the measuring stick again, and it's always, you go out to Carcoo and it's a bit smaller oval, and I think you can crowd them up and slow them down, but they just seem to be able to find space where there isn't some at times. And look, I think once again Rams will probably stay in the game for a half, and then Yolanda will just pull away. It's just their sheer weight of numbers and strength will get them across the line.
Yeah, they're a class act, the Eagles. So Cougars will have the bye. They'll probably enjoy that at the moment, just a chance to lick their wounds and sort themselves out before they come back again in round 5. So round 4 of matches this weekend in Great Flinders football. Primey, anything else before we wrap it up today, mate?
No, look, I've been keeping my head pretty low. I haven't found too much information out this week, and hopefully I can get my head off the pillow and get out the footy this Saturday. So, everyone enjoy their footy, look after yourselves, and, go the Blues.
Well said, mate. We'll catch up again next week. Until then, rest up and stay well, all right?
No worries. Thank